County Commission meeting for November 18th, 2021 is now in session. Would you stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, good morning, everyone. I'm Gary Merrill, President of the Board this year. To my left is Commissioner Barb Lewis, Vice President, and to my right is fellow Commissioner Jeff Denton. Our Deputy Administrator, Don Houston, is with us, as well as our clerks, Sarah and Jennifer. Let's proceed.
Resolution number 21-1132, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held November 15th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 21-1132. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We do not have any public comment today. We do have a tribute this morning from the Delaware County Trails Committee honoring Lynn Fisher.
Okay, no motion?
There's no vote. It's just,
We're not approving it, or?
no.
Okay.
Do they have a copy?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'm Scott Sanders from Delaware County Regional Planning Commission, but today I'm here to represent the Trail Committee. The committee was established in 2016 and includes regional planning, county engineer, economic development, preservation parks, public health district, MORPC, and a member of the public appointed by the commissioners. Since the group was established, Lynn Fisher has served as the commissioner appointment. Sadly, Lynn passed away on October 23rd at the age of 81 after a long battle with cancer. Lynn was a passionate supporter of parks, trails, and health and fitness in general. He was a great addition to the group, always had a tremendously positive attitude, strongly supported getting things done, even if it wasn't the typical or official way of doing it, sometimes by simply being the squeakiest wheel, which we all need from time to time. Monday night, the Orange Township trustees honored Lynn, he was a resident, and named the pedestrian bridge over 23 in memory of him, and I know that Preservation Parks is also recognizing him separately for all the work and commitment that he did for them. His obituary noted that his greatest hope was that the world would be a better place because he dwelt upon it. So I know there's more detail about his service in the resolution, so I'm just here to represent the Trail Committee. It was tough getting others here, but Zach's also here to represent those groups as well. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Scott.
Any comments?
Yeah, again, I didn't know Len well. I know I met him, but he's been active in the parks and trails, and I think we started the Trails Committee in 2016. I think that's what you said. Well, look what's happened in the 5 years since. I mean, it's been remarkable. We've got a lot accomplished, a lot of good plans in place. Len was instrumental in working on those and making that progress happen. So again, we'll miss him and his leadership in the community, particularly in the parks and the trails, which are really important to our community. So I do have a tribute that I intend to give later on. So
I'll just add, I did not know Lynn personally, but his service to the county is the kind of thing that makes our county better, and Commissioner Benton is going to attend an event later to read the tribute to, I think it's coming up in a few days or a week. If you had anything you wanted to add or not?
Sure. I just think his dedication to the parks and trails has benefited so many people, and met him at various meetings, and then he would follow up and see, how things were going, and if they could go any faster, and so, which I totally understand, and just a very dedicated person, public servant, so he will be remembered for a long time. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Resolution number 21-1133, in the matter of approving purchase orders and announce certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 1117 and memo transfers in batch number MT APR 1117.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 21-1133. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-1134, in the matter of approving the request for statement of qualifications and setting date and time for the statements of qualifications for a jail needs assessment for Delaware County.
So move.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, discussion. Vote.
Yeah, I don't know that, I don't see anybody from the sheriff's office here, but we did go over this yesterday in the budget hearing, so I think we're all familiar with what this proposal is trying to accomplish, so I think it makes sense, and I support it.
Okay, call for vote.
Vote on motion 21-1134. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 21-1135, in the matter of accepting the material terms of the One Ohio subdivision settlement pursuant to the One Ohio Memorandum of Understanding and consistent with the terms of the July 21st, 2021 National Opioid Settlement Agreement, and authorizing the county administrator to execute the One Ohio subdivision participation agreement with Jansen, Johnson, and Johnson.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Benton, second by Commissioner Lewis, discussion.
Good morning, Eric Hostetler, Staff Attorney. This is similar to what we did for the Big Three distributor settlement earlier this year, and it would authorize approval of the participation form, and if enough subdivisions in the state participate, then the settlement will go forward. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
What's the time frame for, I know there was a tight time frame on that previous settlement agreement.
I believe it's December 8th or 9th. I'm not sure.
They have to get to a certain percentage of the.
95%.
Same, okay.
Yep.
It's reasonable to assume that they support the other, they'll likely support this one as well.
It is reasonable to assume that. However, I think the communication has not been as clear with this one as it had been with the previous one. I had been in some discussions with the prosecutor's office, and they were concerned that all of the other subdivisions that would need to approve this are not fully aware of that deadline. So they're working to make sure that they become aware and get what they need.
You think it'll be an issue in other counties as well, or?
I'm sure it's going to be an issue across the state.
Any more questions? Vote.
Vote on motion 21-1135. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
That brings us to administrator report.
Don?
I have nothing to report today.
Commissioner Lewis?
I went to the engineers' annual luncheon for the trustees. It was very well attended, and a good presentation from the engineer, and it really is a good event because the trustees, and a lot of new trustees go to this too, so they have a chance to ask questions of the engineer, but he had quite an extensive PowerPoint presentation, which I have, that anyone is welcome to look at. And then the other thing was, I read in the Gazette that our former Gazette reporter, Tony Botkin, passed away. And I was really touched by how many people how helpful Tony was to so many people. He had moved, it's been, I think, a couple years, moved south, and he was always did his homework when he was reporting on what the commissioners were doing, and there were so many statements from people as to how helpful Tony was to people just outside his career in journalism and photography. He was an excellent photographer. I think that was really his first love. But one of the reporters mentioned how his car wouldn't start, so he called Tony. Tony stopped, whatever he was doing, came over, started the car. So he must be somewhat of a mechanic too. And but he was always helping people. So a lot of accolades for him, well deserved in this Gazette article. So just wanted to say thank you to Tony and also to the Gazette. He was really, really good man. Thank you.
Yeah, I noticed that as well, and was sad to see that. I think
Yeah.
everyone liked Tony. He did a nice job reporting and building relationships with the people at the county, so he, you know, he really cared about the city, the county,
Yes.
and everything that was going on, and I think he had switched careers late in his career, his working years, to become a reporter, and he really enjoyed it, and it showed, and it's sad. Sorry to see.
Yes, it really, right,
Yeah.
right.
So anyway, I just had one other thing really. Central Ohio Youth Center board meeting is this afternoon at 4, and there are some major changes coming there. The 4 counties that are in there now are Madison, Champaign, Union, and Delaware. A 5th county, Logan County, which separated from COYC 15 years ago, is coming back. And we've structured it so if they wanted to separate again, it would be a different separation sort of situation, because they left not under particularly good terms and for some financial issues. But anyway, they're making a capital contribution to rejoin the group. They're going to share in the expenses. Part of the change, one of the changes is that we are going to add 2 directors. We have 5 now. The 4 counties each have 1, except Union has 2, so that's the 5. And Logan will get 1 since they're joining, but that leaves a 7th. And the proposal on the table is to have Delaware County have that 2nd or 7th director. So I'm interested in thoughts on that. I've talked to Judge Hemanowski. He's going to research it. He isn't sure if it has to be a commissioner or a commissioner appointment, or whether he could do it. Whether he should do it is another question or not. But,
Can he do it legally, or do they know that?
Don't know. That's what he's going to research. If he can do it legally, if there'd be conflicts because of his position of sending kids to the center, and so on. So,
I think a Judge Hemanowski would be ideal,
yes.
if that's
Right.
possible.
Yeah.
And, but that'll be the bylaws determined by the group of these counties, correct?
Yes, the
So-
bylaws are going to be changed today
Okay.
Oh,
to add
okay.
a 6th and 7th director, the 6th being Logan County, and 7th being a proposal for Delaware County to have that. So, if either of you are particularly interested in joining the Central Ohio.
Well, assuming the judge isn't available,
Assuming the judge isn't available.
so. Why don't we wait for that answer?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Before we.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not asking for a commitment.
Yeah, I'm open to the conversation, but I think
Sure.
somebody from the judge's
Yes,
office
I
would be
agree.
ideal, and Commissioner Lewis may have an interest.
Yeah.
But I think we get clarity on that first.
Yeah, Central Youth Center is in good shape. We have a really good director, good team. They have a lot of turnover in the staff. I mean, we've raised wages significantly, and there's still just a lot of turnover. It's frustrating. The youths in the center are down, partly COVID, partly the trend to send kids to rehab or other forms of work instead of incarceration. And so the center's, in good shape, good cash reserves. Logan County will help spread the costs. Anyway,
Did,
that's where we are.
I assume with the addition of a county, it'd be, I'm sure it's modest, but there'll be some reduction cost to the other 4 counties.
Yes.
Because it's divided by 5 instead of 4
Right.
in some
right.
form, whatever that
Right.
form is.
Actually, our budget goes down quite a bit. Our budget allocation for next year goes down quite a bit, partly because of that, partly because it's based on a rolling 3 or 4 year average of youths in the center, and our participation has been going down, so the percentages, our percentages have been decreasing, so we get a double reduction. So ours is down quite a bit for next year. And that's part of the agenda today, is to approve the budget. and go
Okay.
through that. But, and we've actually been approached by other counties as well. I think Logan County realized that it is very expensive to have your own youth center.
Oh, okay.
And for the number of youths they had, it was, I mean, they're gonna spend half what they were spending to maintain their own center.
What's the I'm not sure what the right word is, I was gonna say occupancy for lack of a better word. What is
There
the,
is-
what's the
there's-
percentage?
There's a lot of capacity.
A lot of capacity.
Yeah, yeah, again, with the trending down of youth incarceration.
So there would be logic to adding a county
Yeah,
or two.
yeah, and that's why we wanted to add one, just to see, because Logan has typically had 8 to 10 youths in incarceration. And they were spending $1.5 million to
Oh my
incarcerate 8
gosh.
youths. So clearly, it makes sense for them to, financially, to.
What's our average number that we
Um,
have,
Well,
if there is?
yeah, it had been trending down, like I said, over the past few years, and it was down to 4 or 5.
Oh,
youth,
okay.
Until July of this year, when it went up to 10.
Oh,
That's because of the crime in southern Delaware County. A lot of youth crime,
Uh-huh.
youths incarcerated, sent to the Central Youth
okay.
Center. That there was a
Mhm.
clear correlation. There was a lot of
Mhm.
youth, Columbus youth, committing crimes in Delaware County being sent to the center.
Mhm.
So we've actually gone up quite a
Oh, okay, okay. I take it 17 and under, is that?
bit.
the-
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So
Thank
anyway,
you.
that's the latest from there. We'll give you an update next week. on-
Well, I think after you hear from the judge, then we're probably better positioned to comment,
Yeah.
and,
And that's all effective January 1st, 2022.
Okay.
I wonder if there's anyone else, even if the judge would feel that he can't do it
Yeah,
from his
well,
office.
or I thought about a judge who may not be directly sending people to that
That's
facility,
another option.
might not have that conflict, maybe one of the municipal judges or
Sure.
something.
sure,
Just a
Yeah.
thought, I
yeah.
don't know enough to
Okay.
really comment beyond that.
Yeah,
Now, again, we don't, this is just a proposal. We
Yeah.
could go back
Oh.
to them and say, Delaware County doesn't want that second seat.
I don't think,
Oh, okay.
I don't think we're opposed to it, I think,
oh,
it's-
no, I
I think
think,
the size of our county would probably make
And
sense.
Yeah.
that's, I
Should
mean, we are
take
actually
it.
one of the lowest users of the facility,
mhm,
youth-wise. But we are probably as big as all the other 4 counties combined.
yeah.
We're probably about that size.
Well, the knowledge of what's happening too in the other counties would be beneficial also to us. And
So you'll know more,
I'll know more Monday.
presumably if this gets approved, and then we'll have that conversation.
Okay, that's all I got. Thank
One
you.
thing I've never understood, having been in Athens, you have Logan City,
Yeah.
but Logan County
Yes.
is about
I always have
70,
to
80
do
miles
the
away.
same,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know how that all occurred, I'm sure there's a story there.
Logan, Ohio is not in Logan County.
So I don't really have much to add. There is regional planning tonight at 6:30, and I did attend a luncheon yesterday at Stratford Ecological. I know Commissioner Lewis had an opportunity to meet the new executive, and I wasn't here that day, and I called David Hoy to wish him the best in his upcoming retirement, and they invited me to come out. So I went to a luncheon yesterday. I met Erin. She lives in Sunbury, and seems
Yes.
like she's very much up to the task. And have you had an opportunity to meet her yet? So, and again, I say it all the time. I said it yesterday when they ran around the table. That's one of the hidden gems in our county.
Oh, it is.
People do not realize when they drive down Liberty,
Yeah.
back behind those trees is a working farm.
Right.
And I've been fortunate enough that not only my son, but my grandkids have gone to farm camp there. And,
Oh, gosh, that's
and
great.
it's always a sellout, so I probably should be saying anything, because you may not be able to get my kids in there, grandkids in there again. But it is a great thing I highly recommend, get your kids out there. Being part of a working farm, I think it's a great experience for the kids to see. Now, Dawn, this is all second nature to her. She says, "What's the big deal?"
Yeah,
But,
you know, you mentioned David Hoy, and he's done a great job
Yeah.
as their development director, and just.
He's been involved since I moved back here in '07. So I associate him with,
Yes,
Stratford,
oh,
so-
sure,
And,
right. Farmer Jeff will be staying too. I think he has
in
a
a different
little bit
capacity.
of a
Yeah,
new
he's going to be
role.
more just the farmer.
The farmer, which I think is he
He
is
likes
happy
that.
about that.
Yeah.
And, but thanks to David for all his great work.
So I think he's there through the end of the year, but indicate he may be
You're
taking
right, he
some
is.
time off. But
Yeah.
very good. That's all I have. I understand we have need for executive.
We do. Resolution number 21-1136, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of appointment of a public employee or public official, to consider the purchase of property for public purposes, to consider the sale of property at competitive bidding for pending or imminent litigation, and to consider confidential information related to economic development,
You done?
I
Second.
suppose.
I think right done was the motion. So
Yeah.
Commissioner Benton
That was a
made the
long one.
motion, and Commissioner Lewis seconded. Vote?
Vote on motion 21-1136. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
We're now in executive session.